James Gunn's Superman is one of the first movies in his new DC cinematic universe. This time around, we are following David Cornsweet as Superman when out of nowhere Lex Luthor cooks up a scheme to ruin the reputation of Superman, making Superman now wonder if he really is the man of hope he always thought he was. And that's pretty much all I'm going to say without giving away any spoilers. This will be a spoiler-free review, and wow, I cannot believe I'm reviewing Superman right now. It feels like the movie just got announced yesterday, and it actually got announced 2 years ago. It got revealed that David Cornsweet is going to be playing Superman, and then we got our first image. Set photos, trailers, all of it has been a journey. James Gunn's Superman is my most anticipated movie of the year, and walking out of the movie theater, it did not disappoint. The main thing I loved about this movie was David Cornsweet as Superman. That was the absolute best part of this movie, is his iteration of Superman. This is a Superman I want to see more of. Everything he did had me smiling. From the speeches he would give to his fight scenes, this is a perfect Superman. And jumping off that point, the way James Gunn directs this movie and with how dynamic those action scenes are, it's sometimes really magical to look at. The cinematography and look of the film, I do think overall it's very beautiful and exciting to look at, especially the flying scenes and action scenes. It gave a lot of personality to this Superman and the DCU as a whole, and part of that personality is the comic book side of the movie. This movie is a comic book brought to life. The storytelling, structure, events, characters, situations, all of it, it fully leans into the fantastical, crazy, and wacky side of comic books. When it comes to the supporting characters in this movie, I really liked Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane. She definitely has great chemistry with David Cornsweet and their scenes together. Whether it's her and Clark Kent or her and Superman, that energy is so well captured. But not even just in their love dynamic, but the way the characters are portrayed. We've seen little glimpses of that conversation where Lois Lane is interviewing Superman. That full scene that starts off pretty playful, but then quickly turns into a defense mode situation is played so wonderfully. And it lets you know that James Gunn does understand these characters. And it's that type of understanding of them that made someone like Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor really stand out, because aside from David Cornsweet, he is also the thing I really loved about this movie. Lex Luthor is just the biggest hater, and the way Nicholas Holt is able to do these really crazy facial expressions, whether it's subtle or very exaggerated, Nicholas Holt just played this character so well, and Lex Luthor is a serious character, but he did have some funny moments.
I don't know what dog you're talking about. Ugly dog in a cape.
Another thing I really like about Lex Luthor in this movie is they really did lean into the I'm evil just because I'm evil persona. I also think people are going to love the Justice Gang. I thought they were very well used in the movie, and I don't think they at all take away from Superman's story. I know that's something a lot of people were afraid of in this movie, that those supporting characters would make the movie feel like Superman and Friends. When no, the movie doesn't do that. This is a Superman movie, and those characters only help support Superman's story. Now, for their individual moments, they all get a time to shine. And surprisingly, Mr. Terrific did have a pretty big role in the movie. Mr. Terrific gets this super cool action scene that really shows off his skills, the tech he uses, and his T-spheres, and the epic music playing in the background. It is definitely one of the best action scenes in the movie. Guy Gardner was actually one of the funniest characters in the movie. Kind of loud and overconfident, but it made him stand out in a good way. When he is using his Green Lantern powers and unique abilities in situations, fighting bad guys, it just makes you want to see more of Green Lantern. I do wish we got to see a bit more of Hawkgirl. She was in a few scenes, and I did like the scenes she was in, but it felt like she didn't get as much time to shine as the others on the team. Krypto was also an amazing part of the movie. He had some really cute moments and funny moments, and honestly, the perfect amount of screen time. He was never overused, but every time he showed up, he added something special to the movie. He had some really cool action scenes both alongside Superman and on his own. Krypto definitely added a heartfelt layer to the movie. I really wish Superman's Earth parents were in the movie more. They're just so sweet, and I love them as Superman's parents. The scenes with them are definitely the emotional parts of the movie. One of those scenes being where Superman's dad is talking to him and telling him how to be a good person. Now, for the music in this movie, it was epic. Especially the Superman theme, it really stood out. Every time it played, I got goosebumps, mainly during those action scenes where he's flying around and fighting. The rest of the music definitely added to the movie beyond those big moments. It brought a lot of heart to the more emotional scenes, whether it's moments with Lois and Superman or Clark and his parents. It definitely made Superman feel like the man of hope. There is so much I love about this movie, some stuff that I didn't talk about, like the engineer and a bunch of other things in this movie, but instead I'm going to get into some of the things that I was mixed to negative about. First off, if you're not super familiar with Superman's extended universe or DC comics in general, you might find yourself kind of confused at times. There are characters like the Engineer, Metamorpho, and Baby Joey, and the movie doesn't really slow down to explain who they are. If you're a big DC fan, you'll probably recognize them right away. It's not confusing enough to ruin the movie or anything. You'll still follow what's happening, but I do wish they gave just a little more context for some of these characters. Another thing that I'm mixed and negative about is there are a lot of things going on in this movie. A lot of side plots, setups, and sometimes it just starts to feel like it's too many things happening at once. And one example of that has to do with Ultraman. There's this big mystery around who Ultraman really is, and it builds some suspense, but when the reveal finally happens, they explain it in 1 or 2 sentences, and after that they just completely move on. It felt like it should have been a bigger moment, but they had to keep it short because there were so many other things that they had to go through. Again, it's nothing that ruins the movie, but it does leave some key moments feeling a little rushed. Other than that, I have nothing bad to say about the movie. Superman is definitely a movie you have to see in theaters. I'm gonna give James Gunn's Superman a 10 out of 10.